Hey plant friends, welcome back. It's about 60 degrees today. The rain just started. It's feeling like spring. Plants are popping up everywhere. Today I saw some coltsfoot come up. My chives have come up. Iris, tulips, daffodils, hyacinth, mullein, my oregano, my tansy out in the garden. The ranunculus is doing great. I'm just so excited to see everything, see it be spring. So in the spirit of that, I have some potting up to do today. I had ordered some plants from a nursery. I have Jerusalem artichoke or sunchokes. I have 3 of those. I have 3 American hazelnuts, which grow more like a bush than a tree. And I have a walnut. So we're going to pot those up because I'm not quite sure where I want them yet. So I want to get them in pots first, root in, so I can transplant shortly and when I figure out their permanent location. Also, I'm going to pot up this elderberry that's rooted. It's got beautiful roots on it. I'm going to get it in some dirt so it can keep growing, get some nutrients. I have some other ones, don't have roots on it, but they're sprouting, so I'm going to keep them in there. And then the little baby ones aren't really doing too much, so don't have high hopes for those, but that's all right. I'm happy just to have one work. What a fun experiment. I made a trip to the plant store with my sister. Came home with rosemary. Gonna pot this up. Aloe. Like, isn't that beautiful? I love that. African violet. I love the two-tone color. So pretty. And a peperomia. Haven't grown one of these before, but I love the beautiful color. I also came home with some seeds. Of course, right? I have pumpkin, luminaria. That's the white pumpkin I was out of last year. These are all from Botanical Interest. This is a chocolate flower, which is a perennial. Apparently it smells like chocolate. The pollinators love it. So it will naturalize here. I can't wait to try that. I have a Swiss Giants blend straw flower. This Alaska variegated nasturtium. I love the leaves on that. Can't wait to see that. And some grass. This is called bunny tails. Look at that. How fun. The tops of it look like little bunny tails. And this is frosted explosion grass. I love grasses. They're great to fill in garden beds just to kind of make everything look full, and love the texture. They all have great texture. So, yay. I'm not going to plant all of these today. We'll see what we can get done. All right, let's get to it. Get our hands in the dirt. Fun. First things first, I need to fill up these pots with soil. This one will be for the elderberry. I think that's a good size for those roots. I'm not going to overfill it. Pack it down lightly to make sure there's no air pockets. And then once I get it planted, water it in, top it off with any more soil that's needed. Voila, there we have it. All of our soil ready to go. Let's pot these up. Going to start with the elderberry first. Oh, I love that. So I'm just going to dig a hole, put in the root gently, not to disturb it too much. All right. I forgot to hit record when I was planting the Jerusalem artichokes. I talked all about it. Well, so anyways, they're already planted, but I'll take one out to show you. Jerusalem artichokes are very prolific. Wherever you plant them, you are going to want to make sure have plenty of room to spread out. They could be invasive. Look at this one. There's roots on the top. There's a little sprout right there. So cute. So I did plant them initially this way, thinking the pointy side down for the roots, but I saw the sprout on the top. I'll show you another one. The roots like kind of come from the top. I'm going to double check before I get too much farther with these, just to make sure I planted them in the right direction. There's another one. Pretty cool. Apparently what you do when you harvest these, see how it kind of looks like a potato? You want to peel the skin because these have a lot of inulin in it, which is a great prebiotic. but also you want to eat it in moderation so you don't get any digestive upsets. And when you're eating them, you just peel the skin off. Apparently they taste like a cross between a potato and watercress. Super excited to try this, can't wait. It is native to the Americas, that's why it's so prolific. You can use it as windbreak, some shade. I will harvest these in late fall, early winter after the foliage dies back. Probably not this year. I like to give it a good 2-3 years before you harvest it. I did run out of plant labels, so I'm just going to use this now until I run downtown. It's just a sticker on there and get some more. I will plant these with 12-inch spacing. So roughly like that apart, and just let them spread out. Hardiness zones 3 through 9, so very cold tolerant. I was going to plant my hazelnuts. I ordered 3, but I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I went to put it in this half-gallon pot, and then I realized it's not big enough, so I went and got more pots that are deeper. I'll put more soil in that. I might have to run down and get more soil. I don't know if I have enough to do this whole project, but we'll see what we can get done. Look at that. Wowee. That's pretty cool. The root comes off to the side, so normally I like to pot these centered, but I don't think I'll be able to do that with this. Normally I would like to soak these beforehand, but these are wet. They left them pretty wet, so I don't need to soak them when you order bare roots. I'll just water them in really well. It's supposed to rain later on today, so they'll get plenty of water. I'll just write American hazelnut. This one has a smaller root system, so this one I can do in this size. Oh yeah, perfect. That'll work. Elderberry stealing the show here, isn't it? Hope you can see all that. Wait a minute, I can tell. Look at the... Oh my gosh, this is another hazelnut. There's a bud on that. Can you see that? Awesome. Okay, I did it. I'm messy, but I did it. I figured out how to get more soil. That frozen block of ice in my last video I did of planting out the ranunculus melted. It did get wet because it rained last night, so it's really wet. That's why I'm all muddy. I got it everywhere. But I had enough to fill 6, and it was potting soil. I did top off these ones with what I had in here just because it was fresher, just for the time being. I will fertilize them once they start waking up out of their dormancy. I'll fertilize them. So how many did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4. I ended up with 6. There was one little tiny one I found which fit into a 4-inch pot. There we go. So that's a lot more than I thought. I might give it away to someone I know, or I might hold on to it and maybe they won't all last. So we'll see what happens. These hazelnuts get 10 to 12 feet tall. They're American hazelnuts, so their branching form get 5 to 8 inches wide. They have 10 to 30 stems, so they're really bushy. The nuts themselves are smaller than a hazelnut you would find in the store. This does well apparently in zones 4 through 6, so it's cold tolerant. I don't know if it would get enough cold period for the warmer zones, so just check your zone if you're interested in trying these. Do need wind pollination, that's why I got multiple. They don't self-pollinate, so I will plant these semi-close together. You can use this as a windbreak as well. Young plants are susceptible to deer, gopher, and rabbits like to nibble on these, so I will be protecting them. Also, once they get established and hazelnuts form, the chipmunks and squirrels like them. So see what we can. We'll spread the wealth, but the squirrels like to rob a lot of my things, especially the bird seed. So we'll see what happens with that. This will tolerate full sun to full shade, but if it's in the shade, it won't have as great nut production, so you want full to part sun. You want to use it as a windbreak. It says to space 3 to 5 feet apart. if you want nut production 4 to 10 feet apart. So if you do about 4 to 5 feet, you should get a windbreak and great nut production. The nuts ripen in September. Can't wait to try them. All right, so last up for this will be the Carpathian Walnut. I have 2 of these. I ordered 1. I have 2. That's how I knew the difference. These ones are, the stems are more green. These are a tree. They're Persian walnut, which is from the Carpathian Mountains in Poland. They're native from the Himalayas all the way to Eastern Mediterranean. Get big, so they get 50 to 70 feet tall, 30 to 40 foot spread. It's a semi-fleshy husk that drops, and you husk it, and the walnuts on the inside looks like a walnut from the store. Ripen in autumn. Their flesh will be like a green color. It does best in loamy, well-draining soil. And the hardiness zones for this is 4 through 9. So pretty cold tolerant and tolerates warmer temperatures as well, hence the Mediterranean. All right, so we got those planted. Let me label them. My hands are all dirty. I got everything as a mess. I'm so excited. Here's the load. Let's get these outside. We have clearing is brush. The previous owners had everything leveled, I believe, for selling the wood, and then they just kind of left it, so we got a huge mess. We're slowly trying to pick it all up. There's a chicken run now. I think I'm going to do this whole area. They'll be protected by this oak tree right here, and then this whole area right around here will be a chicken run. Compost yard, so we just got some cleanup to do. I might leave that log, let it compost down, let the chickens get under it. All right, there you have it. I have the walnuts here, the hazelnuts here, in the bigger pots. I have the smaller pots over here so they don't get trampled by the chickens. I have elderberry, hazelnut, and the artichokes. I dumped that one out, so I'll have to top it with more soil. Like I mentioned, these are just temporary out here until I find a spot, hopefully somewhere back there shortly. I just got to clear an area, so I have, these are a lot of bramble, wild blackberries and raspberries, so I just got to clear it out, dig the roots out so nothing gets in that spot, and get these in the ground, hopefully in the next month or so. All right, off to planting the house plants, which will be easy. All right, first up, I am going to plant my African violet. So I'm not going to pot it up in anything too big. It doesn't like that. So what I'm going to do for this potting mix, I looked up online and it said equal parts perlite, vermiculite, and peat moss. I don't have peat moss, so I'm going to use the coconut coir that we have. So I don't need a ton of this, so I'm just going to use this bowl to mix it up in, which is actually an old crock someone gave me. The coconut coir is pretty damp because I had to moisten it to rehydrate. So I don't know if we'll have to water this because African violets don't like too much water. This is the perlite, 2 of that. And, whoop. I forgot this has a hole in the bottom. The vermiculite leaked everywhere. I'm gonna add a little more vermiculite because it's spilling. Wah! Not the best container to use. It'll work. Okay, let's get this African violet in its new home. I'm gonna put some of this on the bottom. Carefully take it out. I'm gonna break up the soil that came with it. I don't want to disturb the roots too much. Okay, plop that down there. Oh, that broke off. I guess I could root it and try to propagate. What I should have done, I saw this trick. Wait a minute, why didn't I think of this? So what you do is put the pot in, and then you put this all the way around, tamp it in so it's nice and packed in there. Oh my gosh, that made the perfect amount. I'm so excited. Yay. I wasn't even trying to do that. All right. So that's packed in pretty well. Well, let's add a smidge more. I got some more in here. Then what we do, oh, I've been waiting to try this. I can't believe I didn't think of it before. All right, we take this out. Then we have the perfect, I don't want to move it. Now we have the perfect hole to add our plop. It fits perfectly. So I just got to pack it down around, and I have there. Oh, great. Oh, lovely. Okay. This still has some buds on it, so that's exciting. This is pretty wet. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to water it. From my experience, I water when it's dry. It likes to dry. The roots like to dry out, so, and I fertilize like once a month, and then water it once a week or once every other week. All right, beautiful. It does say Merry and Bright on it, but I'll turn it away. There, lovely. Oh, yay. All right, one down, 3 more to go. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing with the rosemary. I put a little soil on the bottom, just so it rests flush here. And then let's add soil around it. This might make a mess, but I can clean it up. La la la. Yep, it does. That looks pretty root bound. I'm just going to rough up the roots a little bit on the bottom. So this might really, really benefit from being transplanted. Look, it fits right in. I love that trick. So fun. Okay, cool. Now for this one, because it doesn't have all the leaves that bush out, for these plants I like to top dress with some moss, and this way it keeps the cats out. So I just get this moss from the craft store. It looks nice, it holds the moisture in, and it keeps the cats out, which is the most important. There we go. Should be pretty. So happy. Next up, I have the Peperomia. We'll do the same process. This is just plain potted soil for this one, as same with the rosemary. Put enough soil in the bottom. So I'm going to take this out as to not mess up the leaves. Apparently this Peperomia is very low maintenance. Works well in the house. So I'm excited for that. Beautiful. That's the perfect size. Another fun trick I like to do is go to a thrift store and see about finding glass bottoms. I use them as saucers. It just kind of dresses up. Look at that. So then you don't get your counter wet or wherever you have this. All right, so we'll give this a little water. Last up, I'm going to plant this aloe vera. For this, I have a cactus mix that I'm going to use, which is different. This special mix for cacti so it doesn't hold moisture near the plant because they don't like that. Look at the roots on that. Wow. And for this, I'm not going to use moss because I don't want to hold the moisture in. What I do have, though, is pebbles. The kids around me like to collect pebbles and give them to me, so I like to use rocks just to top dress plants. There, like that. So I'll do that all the way around. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. I have to go to school pickup, so I didn't get the seeds planted. I'll do that another time. No worries. I'm just going to go get these inside to their homes, and I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you're enjoying your day. Take care. Be well. Bye-bye. No, Emma.